Hey gang, I thought I'd just do a couple of these with you. We didn't get a chance to do some part writing, so I'm just gonna let you see my thinking as I work through this. This is 6-3, 6-2 in the workbook. All right, so you know that we need a doubled root on each one of these four-part chords. There are only 3 notes in a chord, but there are 4 people singing. There are 4 voices. So 2 of those people need to be singing the same note, and we need to always make an informed choice about what that note should be. And for right now, the default is we will double the root, which, because these are all root position chords, that'll be the note in the bass. So I'm in the key of C minor, going from a 5 chord here to a 1 chord. The 5 chord's spelled out for us, and we've got 2 G's, a B, and a D, just like we should. Notice the leading tone, raised 7th degree on the 3rd of the 5 chord. It always requires an accidental. Right there, there's the accidental on a 5 chord in a minor key. 5 chord in a minor key, you'll use a stinking T. There's a stinking T right there. Okay, for this 1 chord, the notes we need are 2 C's, an E flat, and a G. Because we need C minor and we need a doubled root. What we have right now is a C in the bass, so that takes care of one of the C's. And then there's an E flat in the soprano, so the E flat's covered. So we look for opportunities for common tone first. I see a G. I look to my previous chord. I see a G in the alto voice. We need an alto note and a tenor note. So we look to the previous alto and tenor and see how we can lead smoothly. And it looks like we've got a common tone, G. We need a G. There's a G. So I'm just going to pull that G straight across. Write a half note right there. Now the G's covered. All that's left is a C. And notice we have a B natural in the tenor voice, so that'll lead very smoothly to C. And let's double check. C, C, E flat, G. Yep, ended up with 2 roots, 3rd and a 5th. Now it's asking us for that. Which method did we use? 1, 2, or 3? Uh-oh. Oh, I don't have this set up so that I can go back. Well, I'll just remind you that method number 1 that we looked at in class today had a common tone and 2 voices moved by step. So let's see what we got here. And again, we're talking about the upper voices. There's a common tone. There's a voice ascending by step. There's a voice ascending by step. So 2 voices moving parallel by step, and 1 common tone is voice leading technique number 1. Let's see if we can find some others. So moving into number 2, the 2 chord in the key of G majors. This is an A minor chord. A, C, E. They got their doubling right. And next is a 5 chord. That's a D major chord. So I'm just going to jot the D, D, F sharp, A. And we have a D, and we have an F sharp. So we need another D and we need an A. Are there any common tones? I need a D and an A. Nope. This is an E and a C sharp. So no common tones. We're just going to have to move the closest we can. So taking this E, what's going to be, obviously we've got to go down. So that E can move down to a D right here. That's very smooth, 1 step. So there's the other D. And then that means that the tenor has to cover an A. It's not going to go up, because that would put it way up above everything else. So we're going to have to move it down to this A. Now the chord's complete. Now, is that similar in motion to what we had over here? No, over here we had a common tone, 2 voices by step. Here we have all 3 parts moving in similar motion. All 3 upper voices moving in similar motion. That is its own voice leading situation, and it's the second one that the book talks about. That's a number 2. Let's do another one, see what happens. Here's a 1 chord. We need G, G, B, D. We're in the key of G major. G, G, B, D. I'm going to write this down here now. G, G, B, D. We have the 2 G's. We need a B and a D. What's happening here? What do we have? There's a D. There's an A. We need a D. So let's bring that D straight across as a common tone. Covers that. Now we need a B. Let's move that A up by a step. And there it is. Now what was the voice leading like? Well, soprano moved up a step. Alto stayed the same. Tenor moved up a step. Yeah, that's the same thing. 1 common tone and 2 voices move by step. That's a number 1. Let's see what else we got. Moving on. Last chord for this excerpt. It's a 5 chord in the key of G. That's a D chord, D, F sharp, A. So all the notes we need are 2 Ds, F sharp, and A. Just remember that says F sharp. We have a D and an A right now. So we need another D and we need an F sharp. I look at my previous inner voices. There's a D and there's a B. Well, let's keep this D common tone and see if we can make this work. That covers that D. Now we need an F sharp. Well, the tenor voice could leap down to this F sharp. Not the smoothest, but it does keep the D common tone there. The soprano's moving by step. So it's a little bit leapy, but the occasional 4th is not a bad thing. Checking my spelling again. D, D, F sharp, A. Yep, I have everything I need. So, if we look back at the previous ones, is this like this where you have a common tone, 2 voices by step? Nope, there's a common tone, but it's not 2 voices moving in parallel motion by step. Is it like this, where it's all upper voices are moving in similar motion? Nope. Well, what we've discovered is number 3. It has a common tone, and then it has what our book is calling a tertian leap. Tertian means thirds. Whenever you're talking about tertian harmony, you're talking about chords that are spelled in thirds. When we're talking about a tertian leap, that means that the third of the chord here, G, B, D, B was the third, is leaping to the third of the chord here, D, F sharp, A. That's a tertian leap and a common tone. It's basically the other thing. 1 and 2 are certainly the most common. And then 3 has this common tone and a voice by step, but the other voice is leaping. And what you find is that it's leaping from the third of one chord to the third of another chord. So there they are. There are the 3 possible things. And that's what you're doing for your homework. Have fun.